So thank you so much, all of you, for logging on and joining us today. This is like just giving me a reason to get up and take a shower, so I appreciate that. My intention for this time with you is to bring some of our awareness to the ways in which we can connect with the earth. And I wanted to start before I guide you in a little check-in meditation with just a few words about that. During this time when we are experiencing physical distancing, it can feel like we're really losing something, right? Like there's a lot that we're missing. We're missing hugs and being in spaces together. And I admit that's something I'm missing as well. But one thing that I've noticed is that during this time of physical distancing, a lot of us are experiencing deeper connection and relationship with the earth. For example, lots of people are sharing like experiences they're having with birds. I don't know if you've seen that in your feed, like people watching babies being born and taking flight for the first time. And lots of people are having experiences with flowers and with vegetables that they've planted in their gardens. And a lot of people have said to me that the way they're getting through this time is by going on walks in nature. And I don't know, I wanted to bring this up because I think that if you imagine that right now, each of us had a blindfold on and we were in a dark room, right? Like we would have to tune into our other senses in order to perceive in that environment. We'd have to really listen, and we'd have to use our hands and feel around the space in order to be there and garner information. Well, it's kind of like that's what's happened. We've taken one of our ways of connecting away with each other. And in the light of that, other ways of connecting are deepening, The other thing I wanted to bring awareness to before I start is this idea that humans are connected energetically through space and time. So I'll give you an example. Like you've heard of, or maybe this has happened to you, where you think of someone suddenly and then the phone rings and it's that person. Nod your head if that's ever happened to you. Okay. Or maybe suddenly you're filled with concern or fear even. And then you find out later someone you love was in an accident, or their dog died, or something that really like affected them emotionally was happening at the same time you felt that deep concern for them. Nod your head if that's ever happened to you. So as humans, we have a very deep capacity for connecting to one another through space and time. And this has been a part of our existence from day one. And if you look for it, you'll find evidence of it everywhere. Okay, so I'm curious about this time in our world. And is this a time for us to kind of deepen some of our other ways of connection? Like deep listening is something we can do through the phone, through video, 6 feet apart, 14 feet apart. But also tuning into each other is something we can do. So when we start this meditation, we're going to do a little tuning into one another. And then as we move outward and start to connect with the earth, the thing I want to say about that before I begin is that when humans are together, we tend to pick up on each other's emotions. Have you had that experience? Like, say you're in traffic on 280 or wherever you live, and it's stressful and people are weaving in and out. Like, you can, even if you're having a great day and you were feeling very calm when you got in the car, now you feel stressed out Not if you have had that experience. Yeah, okay. Humans affect each other deeply, and we don't have to touch. We're just near one another. But guess what else affects humans deeply? Trees, bodies of water, huge boulders, birds, rain. The elemental beings that we live with, they affect us deeply, and they shift our energy just as we as humans shift each other's energy. So during this time, when maybe you're having less connection with humans, this can be a time when you can have more connection with the other beings that we share this planet with. We've been so focused on each other and so focused on how we were going to build our empire on this planet that some of us forgot to listen to the birds sing. Some of us forgot to touch the trees that were giving us the breath we needed just to live. You know, some of us forgot to sit by the water and just listen and watch it flow. And our ancestors did this. Life was at a different pace then. So our ancestors spent a lot more time, even just a couple generations ago. You know, our grandmothers and our great grandmothers and our grandfathers, they spent a lot more time in their yard and like feeling connected to their little place in the world. But we've gotten busy. You know what we did? We turned into a machine. The humans linked together and we became a machine. And we did some pretty amazing things together as a machine. But the earth wants us to slow down and remember her. She really does. And we can see evidence of that because everything that's been occurring over the last few decades have been a forced slowdown. I mean, look at the weather. Look at what's happened. And every time something big happens, we're forced to slow down. We're forced to be there for one another and help each other. We're humbled. It's like the tower just comes falling down. And I think it will continue to happen until we learn the lesson. That's my feeling, that it'll just keep happening until we learn the lesson of what's actually important here. And this knowing that I have is the same knowing that you have because we were born with it. It came with us. It's in our DNA. You knew it as a child. So today, this time that I have with you, my only intention, my purest intention, is to be with you as humans who remember who they are. You know, we were born to take care of this place. Our breath was meant to nourish this place. And when we die and go back into the earth, we were meant to become a part of this place once again. Like that's the cycle. And if we remember that, truly remember that deep within our hearts and in our bones and in our cells, then the choices we make will be very different, individually and as a collective. We won't be able to help ourselves. Already it's happening. It's happening within you right now. You can't even help yourself. When you walk outside, you have to look up. You have to listen because the calling is so loud now and the earth is doing everything in its power to slow us down so we have to hear her message. So thank you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for this journey, this collective journey that we're on. And my last little word of inspiration here before we meditate together is to say this, that all of us were born at this time for a reason. I believe that. I believe that we are here now for a reason. We were meant to witness this. We were meant to be here for it. We were meant to call on the deepest parts of ourselves so that we could be a part of the transformation and the remembering and the awakening. We chose this. That's what I believe. We chose this. We wanted to be here for this. So thank you. Thank you for choosing it. Thank you for being here with me right now. And I believe in us. And I'll never give up. And I hope that you will also. So I want you to just get comfortable. We're going to end up in Savasana, but for a few minutes, I would like for us to be in a seated meditation position. And you can just get comfortable. There's no right or wrong for any of this. This is purely a time for checking in. And then once you're comfortable, you can either close your eyes or you can have a soft gaze. And take a few moments to just breathe, like big breath, big open mouth cleansing breath. And let the exhale be one of surrender and release, like I can't hold all of this anymore. I don't want to anymore. I'm going to let this go for a while. Any little movements that your body's craving, follow that. That's your body's intuition and internal wisdom speaking to you. If you want to kind of rub your hands together and squeeze your shoulders or your neck, give a little neck roll. Just any bits of movement that you can add in to this breath work so that you become more you. Less rigid, less resistant, more at ease, and more you. And then finally, guide your hands to your body. Maybe one hand is near the belly or solar plexus, the other is at the heart space. Soften up the face, and let's breathe just in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils now. And let this breath move through the three chambers, inhaling through the nostrils to expand our low belly, our rib cage and heart. And then down again, releasing from the heart to the ribs, to the low belly, like a wave of energy moving up and down the spine. And open up your senses to this present moment. So start with the simple sound of listening to the sounds in your environment, but also listening to the sounds coming from my environment. Good. And open up your next sense, the sense of touch, and feel your hands on your body. Feel the air on your skin right now. Feel where your bottom is touching the earth beneath you. Just feel the outline of your physical form, noticing where you end and where the air begins. And feel the breath, the way it touches the internal spaces of your body as it moves in and expands. Feel it releasing from the nostrils. And then open up your sense of smell. Just take a nice big whiff of your environment. Try not to label smells as good or bad. This is more of a sensing. Where am I? What is here in this present moment? Even taste can bring us into our presence more deeply. And then finally, sight. So open your eyes for a moment and just gently look around your environment. And as you do this, really look at things. Don't just skim over the surface of your environment, but look at the shape and the color. And really let your eyes rest on something for a moment and take it fully in. If you have something in your environment that's alive, give it your attention for a moment. Let it know that you actually really see it, that you honor it as a living being, like a plant or an animal or even a crystal. And then take a moment to look at yourself. Maybe bring these hands out in front of you and just really look at your hands for a moment. Notice the detail, the lines on your skin, and just how human you are. Now see if you can bring all the senses in at once so that you're really seeing, you feel your body touching, your hands touching, you listen, you can hear everything in your environment and beyond. You're smelling and even tasting. Beautiful. So this is your full presence now, fully here. And we're going to take one more moment here before we lie down to try to connect to each other. So now that you're really sensed in yourself, take a moment. You can have a soft gaze or close your eyes, but as you breathe, imagine, just go with me on the visual here. Imagine that your breath, every time you breathe in, it expands your body, right? And then every time you breathe out, imagine that your breath expands your own energy field. So you can give it a color. You can make it pink or blue or white. And every time you exhale, let your energy field grow larger. So it starts to fill up the room that you're in. It bumps up against any other people in your home. Let it kind of burst out your windows and move along your land and into your community. And just every time you breathe, let your energy field grow larger and larger. And just imagine that your energy field is getting so large that it starts to connect with another person in this forum, wherever they are in the city. and that eventually we all connect energy to energy field, and we create this beautiful sacred circle of energy throughout our entire community and land. Breathe into that and bring in your shared intention, our shared intention right now, to connect with one another, to feel supported by each other, and to hold a vibration of peace and compassion and deep love for this earth and all of its inhabitants. Feel that connection to one another as we hold this sacred circle. And bring your hands together at the heart, and I'm going to lead us in 3 ohms, and you're welcome to chant along with me. You can also just listen if that's what you're feeling. But the Om is a symbol, it's an energetic sound vibration that symbolizes the part of us that is connected to all things. It's source energy. It's the sound beneath all sound. So as we chant together, we are meditating on our interdependence and interconnection with all life. So take a nice cleansing breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Holding our sacred circle, inhale to begin. Beautiful. So very gently open your eyes, and we are going to start to move down to the floor now. And you won't have to look at me for any of the rest of this part, okay? So you can just listen. And you want to have everything you need for Savasana, although we will do a little bit of gentle movement as we're settling into Savasana, okay? So if you have a blanket or any props nearby that you're going to need to be completely relaxed, go ahead and grab that. But know that we will be doing a little movement through each part of the body as we settle. Okay, so go ahead and come on down. Some of you are just joining, and some of you had a class before this, so it's always important to honor your body's needs, right? So as you're preparing for something like rest, there may be areas of the body that's asking for a little movement so that you can more easily rest. And we're going to incorporate that into our guided Savasana meditation. Beautiful. So each of the different areas of the body are related to a different element. And there's reasons behind that. And all of the chakras have an element that they're related to. So today we're going to actually kind of focus on the different elements of the earth as we move through our body. And while we do that, offer some gratitude for that element. So start by just relaxing your entire body on the earth and connect to this imagery that you are on the earth right now. So yeah, you're on the ground and there might be a carpet or cement or tile, but beyond that ground is earth. There's dirt. And beyond that, there's layers of rock and all manner of critters and organisms that live in that earth. So as you lie down here, first begin to connect that knowing that you are lying on the earth and that you have energetic roots that connect you to the earth through gravity. And just take a very deep cleansing breath. Try to get a little heavier and a little lighter at the same time. Good. Now the root chakra encompasses the feet and the ankles, the knees, the thighs, and the hamstrings. So place your feet right on the earth for a moment and get connected through the soles of your feet. And take a moment and just allow yourself to move a bit. Maybe open your feet a little wider and let your knees fall side to side. Just kind of feeling out what's going on in the lower part of your body today, but also feeling connected to the earth through your feet. Good. And as you move, allow yourself to think about some different variations of earth that you've walked on. So, right, there's like sand, when you've walked on sand along the ocean shore. And there's grass, all manner of grasses that you've walked on. And as you think of each one, send out some gratitude for that experience, as if you're speaking to another being, not just some inanimate object, but thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for the experience that I had with you when I walked upon your sandy shore, when I walked upon your green grasses, when I felt the cool stone beneath my feet. And just take a little walk down memory lane here for a moment. And remember all the places that you've walked on the earth. Remember them with love, with appreciation. Take a very deep cleansing breath. Now, with your feet on the ground, let's move up into the pelvis, because the pelvis is the area of our body that represents water. And take a moment, just place your hands across your low belly and feel that connection from the warmth of your hands through your body to the back where your sacrum is. And just take a deep breath there. And then start to draw your knees to chest and gently hold the knees and rock a little bit, and let some of that movement help melt any tension out of the low sacrum area, the low back. And as you move, be creative and allow yourself to move in any fashion that feels good. Any fashion that feels good, but try to move in a way that feels like water, fluid and soft. And as you move in this way, remember some times in your life when you have connected to water. All types of water, right? There's rivers and oceans, lakes and streams, waterfalls, even the water you get in to cleanse yourself every day, the water that you drink, the water that you use to make nourishing foods. And as you move like water and connect to your sacral area, send out some heartfelt gratitude to water as a being, as an elemental being that nourishes our home and gives us life. Beautiful. Now take a very deep cleansing breath. And start to relax your legs down to the earth. Be comfortable there. And place your hands on your solar plexus. So it's just beneath the heart space, above the navel. And allow yourself to breathe so deeply that you feel that your hands lift and your rib cage expands outward in all directions. But on your exhale, commit to breathing all the way out. And I mean all the way out, down, down, down to the very last drop. And then do it again. Breathe in, feel the nourishing effects of that widening, spacious breath. And then exhale, breathe all the way out, down, down, down to the very last drop. We're in the third chakra now, the solar plexus. And the element is fire. So breathe in, fan the flames, right? Breathe in, let it expand. And then on your exhale, all the way out, down, down, down. Feel that core connection, that deep connection in the center of your body. Now, as you breathe, continue to meditate on fire. All the ways in which you have connected to fire in this life of yours. Maybe some images pop in your mind, times when you've connected to fire. But on a deeper level, fire is why we're here. Fire is why we are human, why our brains work the way they do. We owe a lot to fire. It is a magical force here on planet Earth. Send out some love and some real gratitude for the regeneration that fire brings. Beautiful. Now we're moving up into the heart space. Those of you who need movement, if you haven't had a lot of movement today, you might want to move your arms around a bit or stretch overhead. The arms, the wrist, the elbows, all related to the heart. You can reach across and give yourself a hug on both directions and really stretch out your shoulders. Just feel some movement and some energy there at the heart space, or you can just place your hands over your heart and breathe gently into this space, feeling the expansion, not just on the front, but in the back of the body. And the element here is air. Take a moment to connect with the air that's around you right now. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the air moving in and out of this body of yours. And send some heartfelt gratitude for air as a being, as if it's one big connected being, air. Thank you, air. Think about the way the wind aids our planet. Without the wind, the seeds, they wouldn't find the homes that they find. Things wouldn't grow the way that they grow. Even the trees need the wind to blow in order for them to break and crack in just the right way so that they grow stronger and more resilient and can grow upward towards the light of the sun. Now, finally, kind of arrange yourself in a place where you can truly rest. If you want to place a blanket over your body and just get yourself comfortable and connect to your throat here, this throat chakra. Take a deep cleansing breath and exhale out with a sigh. Make a little noise like, the element here is the ether. The ether is the space in between all the other elements. It's what holds everything together. It's the container. Send out some heartfelt gratitude now for the space in between, for the container, for the ways in which we are held. And now, as you rest your bones and your muscles, coming to the third eye and to the crown chakra. And let's switch here from the elements and focus on our spirit. And know that these are just words, and what we are hoping to do today is to connect beyond words. Words can have meanings that are related to our own life experience. And sometimes they get in our way. And I'm asking you to move beyond the words now and connect to that part of yourself that is eternal. It does not die. It's part of the inner knowing and the oneness. It understands without even having to think. It just understands that we are all connected, that everything is as it should be. And it feels peace and bliss as its natural state. Lives within each of us, but it's a part of a great, mysterious source of energy. And just take a deep breath into the knowing that we are connected to one another. That we were born as human, and that we have the freedom here to be whatever we want to be. And just rest. When the river runs low, it exposes the rock. In that moment, we can see what it is and what it's not. And as the wind blows, the trees sway to and fro. In that moment, we can feel what it means to let go. In this moment, we are free to be exactly as we were born to be. Free to be. Oh, you and me, we were born free. As the caterpillar wraps up in its cocoon, does he know what's coming, or an impending sense of doom? As nature takes its course, we often ask why. How can we go so low and same time fly so high? In this moment we are free to be exactly as we were born to be. Free to be. Oh, you and me, we were born free. Freedom, self-destruct, born to create, born to remind ourselves where we came from. It's not too late. Born to transform and free to stay the same. Born for revolution and free to play this game. Born to search for peace and free to find it. Free to lose it again and free to deny it. Born to come together and free to elevate. Born to love again and free to drive out hate. In this moment we are free to be exactly as we were born to be. Free to be. Oh, you and me, we were born free. we look to Mother Earth. Open our hearts to the divine. We know we're meant for love. We know we're meant to shine. There'll always be choices to make, matters to debate. When we come together, it's our world we co-create. There'll always be choices to make, matters to debate. When we come together, it's our world we co-create. We are free. Beautiful. Now, I'm just so interested in connecting with all of you in some special way today. And what I thought of was having you each gently rise, come out of Savasana, and write on your piece of paper with your marker, kind of large, fill up the piece of paper with one thing that you're feeling very grateful for in this moment. Okay, so I'm going to play another song for you while you do this, and just connect to your deepest gratitude here. Doesn't have to be anything profound. Everything's profound when you're grateful for it, right? And this song, I just want to dedicate to all of the people out there, ourselves included, and anyone we know and love that might be struggling right now, you know, for various reasons. And just dedicate this song to our oneness and our healing, our collective healing. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. No matter what's happening in our lives, we can always bring the love. And no matter how dark this day seems, the love and the light in our hearts be victorious. May the love and the light in our hearts be victorious. This next part you could sing along if you wanted to. We are all one heart, one love. 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 Now, lift your piece of paper so we can all share with each other what we're truly grateful for in this moment. Beautiful community, yoga family, health, true friends, cleansing tears, healing laughter, nature, blue sky, my daughters. I am grateful for you. Yes, you reading this, you are greater than you know. This moment, plants, and all of you, family, freedom, thank you all so much. Oh my gosh. That was beautiful. I love seeing what you're grateful for in this moment. And I would love it if you all unmuted yourself so that we could close out together. And sometimes in Zoom, when we try to chant together, there's like lags. So everybody's kind of off from one another. And I think that's really cool for Oming, you know, because you don't have to be synchronized to Om. So I would love it if you wanted to join in 3 final Oms. If you're not comfortable with it and you just want to listen to everyone, feel free. Hands together. And we are still connected to each other in this moment by our sacred circle that we created energetically. and we're holding this vibration for our planet, this remembering that we are stewards for the earth and that we are in a relationship with the earth, with Mother Earth, Father Sky, and the heart of the world. And as we own together, we acknowledge that we know our place in the family of things. So take a deep cleansing breath. We'll own together and let it be whatever it is. Inhale to begin. Did everyone hear Shannon's bird? I'll turn it over to Emily now, but I just wanted to say thank you. I love you all.
Thank you.